Oh, right, I'm the host. Fuck.
Muted, huh? Da, 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 da. Hey, Mark.
This is the show that doesn't end. Okay, go ahead, Mark.
No, that's fine. I was waiting for
You're like,
Robert to
oh,
say
wait.
something. Like I was posting stuff on Twitter, and then like I didn't see Robert. I didn't hear Robert saying anything. It's like, oh yeah, I'm the host.
Oh, right.
Like I do that like 5 minutes ago, and I just fucking forgot now.
Nice.
Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome to GVN Live. I am your host for this show, and then presumably never again. Mark B. Writing. Joining me, as always, are Celadon, aka Jan.
Hello.
Fight Club Hubs, aka Robert. MPI Creates, aka MPI or Spencer. And that's it. So, let's go around the table here and sort of like, get the cobweb shaken off or whatever the crap, because we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks. Jan, how are you? What are you doing? What have you been playing? All that.
I'm good. This week started off a little crunchy, but hey, we'll deal with it. My whole week is basically filled with a lot of collaborative efforts and a lot of collaboration streams. Tonight I'm doing 2 big collabs. I'm going to be playing after we finish show tonight. I'm going to go off to go play Among Us with Keo Mokapuni and a bunch of other VTubers from the community who are part of the hashtag No Sleep Gang, because late nights and she's in Hawaii, so we're all 4 hours ahead of her. And then after that, I'm going to be doing a visual novel reading over on DJ Ridge's account. I think we're reading 2 Seconds to Starlight, which is a Yuri visual novel in the world of Noise, which is a mobile rhythm game. So that'll be fun. And then I'm doing a big Minecraft collab for charity on Friday. And then I've got another thing on Saturday. I don't know. This week is busy as fuck. Like, this is probably the busiest week I've had in a while. And then
what happens when you get popular?
Yeah.
I know. For all we know, she could be the breakout star of this show.
Who knew, right? I don't know. I don't personally think I can hold a candle to what Spence has done yet, because I don't do a ton of extra stuff. It's pretty much just streams. But I don't know. I like a lot of what Spence does, because I like his aesthetic when it comes to how he makes his videos. Also, he has a really nice voice and he can talk really good. So there's that.
Oh shucks, you're gonna make me blush.
He's got a very sexy voice.
I mean, he's married, so but I can have a voice crush. That's fine.
He's got that husbando voice.
He does. I would agree with that. Other than that, nothing terribly much. I've just been kind of playing the same things. Like, most of it's just been collab stuff. I've had to put Ghost of Tsushima on hold for a little bit because reasons. A lot of it was because I had to prepare for what was happening this week and next week. Other than that, Fall Guys, I guess, is a thing I'm playing some of, and more Muse Dash because they keep putting out new music packs, and I really like that game a lot. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Same question to you, Mr. Robert. How are you? What are you doing? What are you playing?
Well, I took a little bit of a break from Pokemon Sword. Thank God. That game is... Pokemon is still addicting. I don't know why. I recently downloaded a couple days ago this game that is in early access. This weird Chinese hack and slash game called Bloody Spell. Or Blood Spell or Bloody Spell. It was on sale for like $7, so I said, why the hell not? And it is a very interesting game. Controls fluidly. Frame rate's amazing. It looks gorgeous too. This is a very promising game. I just wish they would fix the English translation a bit more. Like, I forget the phrase they put for quick save. Like it says charting down or something like that. Charting down progress or something like that. It's something really off the wall.
Who's the U.S. producer on it?
I am not sure. Let me double check this real quick. Bloodspell. Yeah, the game is called Bloody Spell.
Is it on Steam?
Yes, it is on Steam. Publisher and developer are still in Chinese characters, so I can't really tell you who's bringing it over.
So they brought it over themselves.
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. I'll take a look at that.
It's a very interesting game. You might find this interesting for yourself, Mark. It is actually still on sale. It's $6.99, and then they have a DLC bundle, which it's like everything's $25. So it's almost like, I guess, close to being a finished game. But it's very interesting. I enjoyed it. I started getting into Monster Hunter again in various forms. Not World necessarily, but I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter 4. I didn't play a whole lot of it when it initially came out, just for whatever reason. But I've been playing a lot of it now. Went back to play Generations Ultimate, and I actually just picked up finally a PS2 copy of the original game, and holy broken control scheme, Batman. Wow. I guess it was still early in the gaming world where people just didn't quite understand that they can use the right analog stick for the camera instead of using it for attacks. So that was very shocking when I played it for the first time. Other things I've been playing or doing, I'm trying to reach out and get more, guest hosts or guests for the show. I've been pretty much batting like zero lately with getting guests on. But then again, we have like no followers, so it's not like we're losing anything.
I mean, you say that, but there are people that watch us. It's maybe just on YouTube or something.
Yeah, there's a couple people that watch us on YouTube here and there. Also, I'm trying to get back into the schedule of streaming regularly. I've been trying to stream Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but I've always been breaking and only streaming every other Sunday or every other Tuesday for GVN Live or for the Virtua Fighter 5 bi-weekly. So I'm trying to find stuff to do to fill in the gaps on the off days of these shows that we do. So it's just a matter of doing that. And of course, the wife's going back to school and she has online courses, so it's pretty much my time is going to keeping the kids away from her. So there's that. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Okay. MPI, same question. How you doing? What's going on? What are you playing?
Doing pretty good. I haven't been playing a whole lot. I've been playing Animal Crossing again with Kate. When we got our second Switch, she tried my copy of it and was like, yep, this is a fun game. So I kind of got back into that to play with her. And then Fall Guys as well. Been playing that. It's a game, that's for sure. It's super fun, and I feel like I would be more angry when I got eliminated if I didn't watch the goofy little bean flop around. Like the ragdoll, like when he flops everywhere. It's like, I'm not even that mad that I got knocked out.
Is that exactly what they are? They're all beans just with arms?
Pretty much, that's what they look like.
They're basically like in beans. Think like how like Takeshi's Castle basically always put people in weird random outfits. That's the same kind of concept, except they're 6-foot tall beans.
Yeah, it kind of looks like those, like a morph suit without the face on it. Like if you cut the face out of a morph suit and put it on.
Yeah, they're basically just wearing Shy Guy masks as they're running.
Yep, pretty much. But I mean, it's actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be, even just playing it by myself. I haven't won yet, but I got to the top 3 earlier today, and I thought I was gonna do it. And I had the sweaty palms, and I was like, "This is it." Didn't quite get there. Other than that, this week I didn't stream it last week. I didn't stream it all last week except for the vampire campaign because I started a new part-time job during the days and had training that went into the stream time. So I didn't really have time to do it, but I'm going to be getting back into Control. I'm actually moving to PC for it. Since I basically got the game for free on Xbox with like my GameStop point things, It has crashed on me like 10 times, like full on to the dashboard of the Xbox, or given me an issue that says out of video RAM, and it kicks me out.
Oh yeah.
So I found it on sale with like the whole Ultimate bundle for $27 for the game and all of the DLCs.
Oh wow.
So I just have to catch up to where I was on PC, and I'm gonna switch over to PC for it because I know my PC will run it better than my Xbox did.
All I
Seems
really know about
good.
Fall Guys at this point is I've seen the video Fall Guys, but with realistic sound effects.
I haven't seen that, and I need to see it.
My
Yeah.
favorite is the one
You
where
can tell her,
it's,
yeah. Tell my wife I love her. You can tell her yourself. Gary!
Ah!
Oh my God! I
what
can see my
happened?
family again. Ah!
Get away from me, chicken! Get away from me! This is mine!
Yep. All right, I gotta pull that up.
Yep, there it is. There it is. There it is. That video's great. Holy shit.
Yeah, I gotta watch that after stream because that sounds fucking hilarious.
But yeah. As far as I'm going, I'm fine, and I'm playing Warframe.
I know you are.
I
Well,
never
that-
would have guessed.
I'm not telling you guys. I'm telling the fucking audience.
No, I guess y'all wrote Danny into it, and he's really digging it. So.
Oh yeah, no, he thinks it's great, except for the flesh parts, and
Oh god.
we're
That's like my
slowly
biggest
slowly
problem with it.
converting him on the flesh parts. So
Oh no!
look, I mean, like
That's going into quotes right now. Oh shit.
we're converting him on the flesh parts.
Yeah.
Look, if you have never played Warframe, Warframe is basically about like sentient, like semi-sentient, biological robot ninjas called Warframes, and the people who pilot them called the Tenno. So all of the Warframes have a certain degree of body horror going on with them. But then there's Nidus, who is just 100% body horror. Like, his special ability, he fires out like this ball of shit that when it impacts on an enemy, just explodes into tentacles to rope in all of the other enemies around them. Or, as I call it, tentacle hentai motherfucker.
Yup.
Dan has Nidus, and did not like Nidus because Nidus is fucking
Tentacles.
gross.
Yep.
But then eventually convinced
Woodkin.
himself that, that Nidus wasn't so bad. So, Dan we're slowly converting him on the flesh parts.
I have nothing to say.
I mean, Warframe is great so long as you don't think about it very much. If you think about it very
Exactly.
much, there is a lot of
Buckets of porn.
Yeah, I made the mistake of whenever I played a little bit with you guys recently, and was planning to play it every now and then. Like, I'm not gonna play quite as much probably as you guys are, but I'll play it some. And I usually when I get into a game, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna jump on the subreddit. Don't go to the fucking Warframe subreddit. It's a mess.
Oh no!
It's god awful.
Oh no!
I thought the fucking Dead by Daylight subreddit was bad with just like horny, disgusting people, and then I got to the Warframe subreddit and I was like, guess I could uninstall Reddit forever. Jesus Christ!
Left 4
Oh, yeah,
Dead would
well,
like
I
to
mean-
say hello.
that's every subreddit, but like I think the problem with the horny on the subreddit is not a problem with the horny on the subreddit itself, because every subreddit is a
I mean, that's
repository
fair.
of horny to a certain extent. It's the amount of horny you are exposed to relative to what your brain can associate with the thing that you are seeing, and whether or not you can accept the idea of the horny.
Right.
So, like, with say Azure Lane, it's fine because your brain is already sort of accepting. Well, these are fucking
yeah.
like young girls who are also boats, whatever. At that point, like your brain has been fucking shell shocked into submission, so it's kind of already ready to go as far as the horny goes. But with Dead by Daylight, like most normal people are going to be like, oh, the horror goes with the sword coming out of her hand. but sexy. No.
Uh,
No,
Yeah,
I do not want.
You know, the spirit I almost get because that's how they designed that character.
yeah.
But like, whenever they announced, I can't remember the survivor's name now, but there's a survivor who is has like a very large butt and very thick thighs, and like
oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
the second that was announced, like there was just so much on
yeah.
that page, and I was like,
Yep.
why? Like
Because,
there's
like-
even an entire separate subreddit for Dead by Daylight that is Dead by Daylight Rule 34. Fucking go there. That's what it's made for. This one's not made for that.
No,
Stop it.
stop. Go to horny jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a club, and I just want to go and whack some people on the head. Go to horny jail.
Yeah.
Club
Don't.
Seal.
Give 'em a
Hashtag Club
bonk.
Seal.
Oh god.
Yeah. Now everybody knows that you are horny online. see, that's my secret. I'm never horny online.
Sure, you're
Touche.
not.
I'm never horny online that anybody can see.
Ta-da!
Like I never tweet my horny. I don't
Yes,
even
you're allowed
I
to.
don't even like pictures of like the ladies that I follow. I just don't.
I mean,
Hey, Jan, don't I have audio proof that Mark was horny last show talking about? Oh no, you know what? Never mind. It wasn't actually live on the show. Damn it.
That is literally what I said, motherfucker.
ta-da!
If you
I s-
expose our private
Fuck,
conversations, then that is what it is. Like,
I mean-
there's nothing I can do about that.
No,
But-
no. I thought it was actually a conversation we had live, but then I was like, no, wait, that was a conversation beforehand, and I'm not gonna
Yep.
bring it out. So
Right. I'm not going to have a conversation live about,
Mhm.
like
Being horny
fucking
online.
people. But I'll absolutely have a conversation offline about fucking people.
I mean, I pretty much already screwed myself on that one, so it's fine. Like, it's public
Oh,
knowledge. and it's
absolutely.
one of my top
Absolutely.
clips, but what am I gonna do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have been very horny online, and that's
I
I mean, yes,
if you watch my student union read through, you totally know.
oh yeah.
just
No,
based
you
on
have,
half the stuff you post, Jan, on Twitter.
I mean, yeah, that's not wrong.
Jan should be in horny jail. We all
Yeah,
acknowledge that.
out of the
We move
four
on
of
with it.
us, Jan's the
But
horny
I'm
one.
already there. But I'm already in horny jail. You can't put me in it when I'm already there. Fuck.
It's like, listen, don't threaten me with a good time. All right, so we have a lot of topics to talk about. So let's start off. Instead of talking about anything new, let's start off with the shit we were talking about fucking 2 weeks ago.
Round 2,
Apple-
motherfucker!
Apple versus Epic, round 2, because
Ding, ding.
everything is horrible, and even our apocalypse is getting into repeats.
Good.
So if you weren't here 2 weeks ago, the general gist is Epic decided that they didn't want to pay Apple to have their products on Apple's storefront anymore. So they instituted a patch onto Fortnite that effectively allowed them to bypass the Apple Store and get purchases made through the game. Now, I mean, let's be clear, lots of games already do this, but they're games that don't advertise that fact. They'll just be like, "Oh, hey, you can pay for this via PayPal if you want." You know, it's like people. Lots of games do this, but they're games that 5 people have downloaded.
Mm-hmm.
So when Epic does it, it's a big to-do, and they very specifically let Apple know that they had done it. If they had just done it on their own, they
Right.
probably could have gotten away with it for a few weeks before Apple noticed. But they specifically went and told Apple to get in trouble. Apple responds by saying, "No, you can't do that," and taking the game and basically all Epic stuff, as it ended up happening, off of their storefront. Epic sues Apple and then releases an advertising campaign mimicking Apple's 1984 advertising campaign, which is exactly the sort of nerdy thing that you would imagine that nerds would do.
Right.
And has 0% resonance with the actual people who are playing fucking Fortnite. Nobody who is playing Fortnite was alive when that Apple ad came out.
Not
Let's just
really.
call that what it is. Not even
Not really.
Ninja. Ninja was not alive when that fucking ad
That's
came
true.
out. Okay?
That ad was
Like-
stupid.
Yeah, like I mean, like that ad came out like when we were children, and when I say we, I mean everybody here but Spencer.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive.
Right.
Nope.
So it's like I get where they're going with this, but like literally none of your audience was alive to see this. None of your streamers were alive to see this. What are you doing? But okay. So this was all what we addressed 2 weeks ago. In the intervening point since then, basically what happened was Apple filed an injunction, like a restraining order, basically saying, please don't take our stuff off of the Apple Store because not having access to the Unreal Engine would be a hugely damaging thing for developers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first thing that happened there was Microsoft stepped in and said, yes, we also agree that it would be bad to remove the Unreal Engine from the Apple Store.
What kind of a goddamn world do we live in when Microsoft is backing Epic?
I mean, to be fair,
So,
it's
Well, they're having a problem with Apple themselves right now with getting xCloud on the App Store.
Well, there is that, yes,
because
but
of
also in history,
Apple
in
Arcade.
hindsight of history, though, Microsoft and Apple have worked together more often than gone against each other.
Yeah. So a lot of this really kind of comes down to, and I had a conversation with one of my roommates about this, and I've talked to a couple of other people as well, but there's a lot of like theory crafting and a lot of conspiracy theory behind a lot of what's going on here, and this is like a big, this is a big deal. So Apple decides we don't want you guys to do what you're doing. We still want our 30% cut. Epic goes wham wham, we want all our money. But then Apple's like, well, we're taking all your tools down. And they were like, wait, no, don't do it. That's illegal. Which obviously it isn't. But they filed a restraining order anyway to basically say, look, we don't care if you drop Fortnite because we can still have that loaded backwards. Like, we can still APK load it. So whatever. But don't take down Unreal. And Microsoft's like, no, wait, don't take down Unreal Engine because that'd hurt video games in general, even for you guys. And all the while in the background, all of the other big crunch companies are looking at like, what's going to happen next? If Epic loses and they have to settle, that means Unreal Engine could possibly be something that we could buy from them to pay them back. What do we do? So now Microsoft bids and goes, hey, we don't want to lose Unreal. And if that happens, then they can go back to Epic later and go, we'd like to buy Unreal Engine from you. But then, of course, you've got companies like Amazon and Facebook and Tencent who are going to go, we don't want that to happen. So a lot of what we're seeing now is Microsoft is playing the first card and they're threatening a royal flush because they know how this is going to play out. And by being the one that helped the lawsuit go through and save the Unreal Engine for everyone, they now have a leg up on all of their competition for finding a way to get Unreal Engine as associated with xCloud and associated with Microsoft Game Studios in a way that they wouldn't have been able to integrate previously. So now you have this dog and pony show where all these other tech companies, like the big ones, okay, they're all looking at Microsoft going, I don't think we like what you just did, but we have to let it go because it's a legal proceeding and we don't want to be associated with that. But then the next question becomes, well, what happens next? What's the next lawsuit that's going to hit Epic? Oh, wait, it won't be Epic. It'll be Apple. And everybody's going to go after Apple going, open up iOS. Stop having it be closed.
yeah. Though
Well,
I do find it interesting that the follow up from that was that a judge ultimately decided to protect the Unreal Engine, but said fuck because Epic was
Right.
kind of sort of trying to get all of their stuff protected, absolutely.
Mhm.
So the judge sort of threaded the needle on that by way of saying, well, you get the temporary restraining order on Unreal Engine because we can see what kind of damage this would create as it relates to the gaming marketplace on the whole. but all of your
Right.
games can go fuck themselves.
Right.
So, like, all of their games have just been removed from the iOS store.
Yep.
And I don't think that's what Epic wanted, but I do think that that's something that Epic had to expect was going to happen. And to be honest, I kind of think that at least partially signals that, you know, the judge in this case is kind of sort of saying, like, look, like, I'm not super receptive to the argument that you guys are making here.
Right.
Like, I don't know, if I were Epic, I might be taking that as a sign that maybe the best time to do something about this lawsuit was before you filed it, but the second best time is right now.
Right.
I would have to say, if anything, I don't really have any sympathy in the way towards Epic at all. I mean, Epic was trying to do a shady workaround to get all of their money and pretty much cut Apple from, the money they asked for in their licensing agreement in regards to DLC or microtransactions. But I think Apple went a little over zealous about how they were condemning Epic by threatening to remove Unreal Engine. So
Kind of.
it was a little it felt a little over the top, and I would have to say the way the court system played out for the first lawsuit, kind of in favor of Apple, kind of in favor of Unreal, was kind of like I think this is going to end up being a stalemate. If anything, I think Epic's going to be the one that'll buckle first, because they're a company that in the last couple of years has gotten really full of themselves, thinking that they can literally try and get away with anything. I mean, everything from backdoor coding for reading shit on your PC to fake free game deals on Epic Game Store to shady backdoor deals for getting exclusive games in their game store to now trying to collect every penny and not give it to the rightful owner of the platform that they are putting their content on. I mean, I can see you getting away with that with your Epic Game Store, but if you're on iOS or on Android or, hell, heaven forbid if it still existed, a Windows phone, you would still be paying, you would still have to pay the agreed amount of like 30-20% of whatever profit you made off of your microtransactions. But trying to make backdoor deals or workarounds is literally like voiding the contract, and you got caught, and you had your wrist slapped, and you got what you deserved.
Well, so the other part of that, though, is that there was a bunch of games that EGS was supposed to have exclusivity to, and Microsoft basically went, hey, fuck you, buddy. Like Shenmue and Metro and a lot of those games, because why, those are our game studios, so we can put those on our platform whether you like it or not. Sorry. And they ended up going up on Games Pass, and so a lot of people that were upset about it were like, yeah, but I can still play Metro without being an EGS. I could still play Shenmue 3 without having to get Game Pass, or without having to get going to EGS. I could play it on my console, or I could play it on my PC, because I can still get it through the Game Pass. So it wasn't like that wasn't an issue. But then they're like, well, there's other games
not
that
on the
we've
Game
got,
Pass, but okay.
It was for the first 6 weeks of its release, and then
Shenmue is a PlayStation 4 and was Steam exclusive, but Epic Game Store exclusive. It's not on Windows platform.
Again, it was for the first 6 weeks of its launch, and then was pulled down because of other issues with Ethernet. Like that was well known. It was there for 6 weeks, and then they had to pull it down because of Ethernet issues, and that had nothing to do with EGS. But like baseline, there are some games that were supposed to only be on Epic Game Store that Microsoft was like, nah, fam. But again, this all harkens back to the concept of Microsoft stepping in first for the legal portion of this whole concept really sticks to the fact that they're vying to get Unreal Engine. Like that is the big conspiracy theory. Microsoft is trying to vie to have the ability to access Unreal Engine and then buy the portion of Epic that controls the Unreal Engine creation and then bring that into Microsoft. But obviously, you still have other companies like Amazon and fucking Tencent, who already owns 40% of Epic anyway. And you also have to worry about like whether or not Facebook is going to try to do anything, or whether or not Walmart is going to try to do anything. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because at this point now we've gone past the Epic punched themselves in the dick, and now they're trying to tell other people, hey, why do they keep punching me in the dick? To, well, we don't know what we're doing. We've never known what we're doing, and it's going to be really funny to see what happens, because we still don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Like, I mean, I don't put any weight on the idea of like any of this conspiracy theory shit. I could definitely see Microsoft like sort of doing this sort of boosting as a possibility of trying to like get their hand in as it relates to Unreal Engine, but like that only really matters if Epic actually loses. I don't
Right.
think Microsoft is playing that kind of 4D chess, and I think that even if that's a thought in their business perspective, I just think that that's a little bit more conspiratory than I would personally want to get into it,
Right.
because it's sort of making the assumption that any video game company that we are dealing with has any idea what the fuck they're doing. And the whole of video gaming as a collective medium has kind of indicated that that's not the case. So, like, I don't want to give anybody too much credit here. Like, if that was something that Microsoft was actively gunning for, it would be more planning than they have done at any point until right now. So,
Yeah.
like, I think this is really just a case of Microsoft sort of being like, well, we don't necessarily like Epic because they have a certain degree of competition with us as it relates to the marketplace, but also we kind of sort of need their development tool. It's a very weird relationship that video game companies have, where if you have development tools that are really, really good that everybody wants to use, but also you are a company that nobody really likes dealing with otherwise, like there's that certain situation of, fuck, we got to defend them this time. But like, like when in other periods they're like, haha, fuck you, so it's I don't know, it's weird in the sense that like video gaming just sort of makes strange bedfellows on the whole, like it's not quite as astonishing as watching like Sega and Nintendo work together, but it's definitely a case of like, I don't think Microsoft is doing this because of any reason other than they don't want Unreal Engine to go away. But like, I don't think that they have any kind of appreciation for Epic as an organization.
No, Unreal Engine is definitely something that is more or less a cornerstone in game development now at this point in time. And yeah, to have that go away or to be bought by a company that would practically be selfish with the tools like Amazon or Facebook or even Tencent would be kind of like a big blow to the gaming developmental world. I mean, yeah, sure, we still have ID Techs and we have, all those other wonderful engines like Frostbite out there, but, Unreal Engine is literally like one of the golden standards of the of the game development. So,
I mean, I don't like with Tencent having been invested into Epic, I don't think Tencent's overall goal at any point would be take away access to the Unreal Engine.
No, it's world domination. Like, but anyway,
right? I mean, it's like it's like that seems like sort of a conspiratorial mindset, but in a way, it's sort of correct because they want Unreal Engine everywhere. They make money if people use the Unreal Engine for licensing and everything else. And the more people use it, the more people hear about it. The more people hear about it, the more people use it. The more people use it, the more people hear, and it goes on and on and on. It's a cycle. If you are the owners of Unreal Engine, you want every game company on Earth using your engine to develop everything. That's the best possible outcome for you because you make the most money and you pretty much guarantee your existence. Even if you make another game, you never make another game ever again. So, like for Tencent, for Epic, that's the best possible outcome.
No, I would agree. I also feel like there's a bit of an interesting, like, conundrum that they basically find themselves in at this point, which is, if they win, they can basically go, okay, Apple, guess what? Now you need to start talking about that monopoly you have on Apple devices and unlocking iOS. But if they lose, now they're like, well, I guess we fucked up. Oops. We're more of a laughing stock now than we ever were before. And we had to be saved by Microsoft, and then weird shit starts happening. Like, the real problem here is what are the other big companies who are waiting in the sidelines right now going to do? Facebook has already done something where if you try to send money or if you try to do any sort of Facebook game microtransactions on an Apple device, when you go to actually pay for it, it had up until just recently a message that actually states, oh, by the way, if you're using an Apple device, Apple will take 30% of your total amount towards what this is away from this to basically pay Apple. Like, they were basically shoving it back in people's faces, at which point an injunction was filed and Facebook had to remove that from its platform. But the fact remains, they were still trying to do that to Apple. Now, I think a lot of this also just harkens back to, yeah, but Google did it too. I was like, well, yeah, but Google's still technically not worried about it because, A, let's be real fucking honest here, Alphabet doesn't give a fuck. Because they already know that Epic basically has no legs to fucking stand on with them. And the only reason that Epic also decided they were going to add Google to whatever other lawsuit they decided they were going to do, and it basically has no traction, is because they know for a fact that the only reason they had to do it was because if they didn't, then the Apple lawsuit wouldn't hold credence. The other side of it was,
I'm absolutely not having any conversations about the Google side of it because the Google side of it 100% is going to be Epic getting fucked in the ass by that they do as far as this goes. This is not going to go anywhere. It's not going to amount to anything. I literally don't think that Epic thinks it's going to go anywhere, which is why they're not talking it up particularly much.
But the only reason they did it was because they had to. There was two things they had to do. They had to also sue Google because they were suing Apple, or the Apple lawsuit wouldn't hold credence. And they also had to have the judge come in and give them the injunction of, okay, we have to allow this to go through for the stoppage of Unreal Engine being removed, even though they knew they didn't have to actually worry about that because, let's be honest, Unreal Engine would still be available and people could still use it. They just couldn't do it directly through the iOS portion of it, which, we've already talked about. But they had to have a judge say, you can't do this. And now Apple's like, okay, we weren't going to actually take away Unreal Engine, but we had to have the judge say that we weren't going to have to take away that because, otherwise, again, there's no credence. There's no basis for them to actually remove everything because Apple knows. Apple has way too many games that are on Apple Arcade that use Unreal Engine. To lose that would mean they'd be losing money too. And we all know Apple loves money.
Everybody loves money.
So
I don't
that
love
wasn't
money.
going to actually happen. Yeah, well, that's because you're dumb, but that's fine. We still love you.
That's because I don't want to be involved with the evil behind money.
I don't love money because I'm a fucking socialist, but...
Fair. Our money.
But
no, it's their money, not ours.
Yeah, so I think we've kind of said what we need to say there. So unless anybody has any final thoughts, let's move on to something that actually has some new meat on the bone. and that is the basic exodus of fucking everyone from Lab Zero Games.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you don't know who Lab Zero Games is, I can kind of understand that. They have made some stuff that are critical darlings, but they aren't the largest company. The two games that you are probably most directly familiar with from them are Skullgirls and Indivisible.
Mm-hmm.
Skullgirls is a fighting game featuring girls with violent hair. And Indivisible is sort of a weird love letter to Valkyrie Profile that is somehow harder than Valkyrie Profile actually was.
Fighting
No,
games,
I
what
don't
can I
understand
say?
it. Just move on with it. So apparently, I don't 100% know everything that happened here, but as I understand it, more or less what occurred is the lead of the company, Mike Zalmont, had a like the apparently the company originally had sort of negotiated for sort of like a worker owned and operated sort of mentality where
Mm-hmm.
it would be kind of sort of like vaguely communist in the way that it was run, which is great.
Pretty much.
Okay, so then a whole bunch of accusations come to light against the leader, like the lead guy, Mike Zalmont. I have not read the accusations, but I'm making the assumption that they are sexual in nature.
Oh, they go
Mhm.
beyond that, but yeah, I read quite a number of them.
Yeah, so he's a
There's a
fucking
lot going on there.
Oh,
he's a
yeah.
fucking awful bastard. Okay, so the company, like the people in the company, are basically like, "Look, dude, you got to go," and he's like, "Okay," and then like 2 weeks later, they're like, "Look, dude, you got to go," and he's like, "No."
Nah.
So everybody has resigned from Lab Zero Games.
Yeah.
I mean, good, but also like that's kind of an amazing thing to see happen, where the lead guy who owns the company gets accused of something and is like, "Look, I'm not going to leave." So everybody else is like, "Well, fuck you then," and
We're gonna
just,
leave.
just bounces out.
We'll leave.
Yep.
Mark, did you disappear?
No, I'm here.
Okay, there you
No,
are.
sure.
I just don't really know where to go from there. You know what I'm
So-
saying? Like,
So pretty
a lot
much
of what
it's
happened here. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. Pretty much it's a simple case of okay, a company has literally spoken out against its leader, who has been put on notice for homophobic comments, racist comments, sexual harassment, and inappropriate jokes in the workplace, as well as just
Oh, yeah.
simple harassment of his employees for, doing something as simple as like needing a day off because they weren't feeling good, making them feel like absolute shit for taking a day off or whatever, grinding people hard into the floor for needing to do what they have to do outside of the company. And then after being pressured by everyone in the company, he initially does say he's going to step down, and then days later changes his mind and says no. I could not believe that Mike Z turned out to be such a giant asshole, to be truthfully honest. But then again,
I mean,
I've heard stuff in the back.
Well-
I've heard of stuff in the past, but after seeing 20 or 30 employees spilling their guts on Twitter, I was just like, wow, this guy's kind of a monster. So go fuck yourself, Mike Z.
like a lot of what ended up happening with this guy has been a long time sort of coming. He was like that when he was just a player. He was even worse when he sort of started Lab Zero. The only reason a lot of people put up with it was because, hey, we're making the fighting game we've wanted to make. We're making the games we've wanted to make for years, and we're
Mhm.
finally getting a chance to do it. We don't have any other way of being able to make these games, so we're going to just grin and bear it. It got worse. It got worse. It got worse. People started just being like, I gotta just finish what I gotta finish because I need this game to come out. This is my fucking dream. I can't just quit right now. There's no way I can do it. And
Or
they just kept
People
sticking under
just
the heel.
continually working there out of fear of not being able to find a job elsewhere.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's a lot of retaliatory issues that are going on. There's predatory problems. There's a lot of misogyny. There's a lot of sexual harassment. There's the live stream right before Evo stuff was supposed to happen, where they had a miniature tournament for Skullgirls, and somebody made a comment on the commentation with him, and they were like, oh man, they're just not giving him any room to make any sort of play. And Mike Z says, oh, so you mean like he can't breathe?
Fucking yikes.
Wow.
Fucking yikes, my dude. Like, and this all happened right after George Floyd, too. And I'm like,
and Lab Zero Games, like specifically, like the company themselves, very much like made statements akin to pro BLM stuff.
oh yeah, no. Everyone else was definitely pro BLM, and then he comes out and he makes this comment, and then goes to Twitter not but an hour later after everyone basically posted the shit out of this clip, going fucking yikes, my dude, and he's like, it was just a really bad joke. I'm sorry.
No. Okay,
no.
I look.
Yeah,
I've made
an excuse.
bad
Sorry.
jokes.
Not even close.
I make
Not
bad
even
jokes here. That was just being an absolute asshole.
Yeah. So that was basically the straw that broke the camel's back. Everything from that point forward, that was when literally everything started to come to light. People at that point were like, look, Skullgirls is out. The new DLC character that we've been working on for the last 6 months is going to be announced in 6 weeks. We're going to just let that happen. She's already fully developed. We're just going to announce it, put some finishing touches on it, and then we're all the fuck out of here.
Fully developed.
Oh, God damn it. How dare you?
It's funny because some of those characters are sexualized.
Eh.
Yeah, you see, it's funny. It's funny because some of those characters have big boobies. You see.
But
hold on, you're saying that they did that in a fighting game? I never would have thought of that.
Never would have thought of that.
I don't believe it. Yeah.
But yeah, so they basically finished everything they knew that they needed to. Now, here's the catch. Lab Zero is just a developer. They do not own the rights to either Indivisible or to Skullgirls or Skullgirls Mobile. Those are owned by Autumn Games. Autumn Games came out after all of the shit started going down and people started mass leaving from Lab Zero, basically saying Skullgirls is not owned by Lab Zero. It is actually owned by us. We have all of the rights to it. We do not condone any of the actions or any of the things that Mike Z have done. Fuck that man. By the way, Skullgirls is in good hands, and we will be working with the people from Lab Zero to help them continue their work both on the game and to obtain further additional employment, even if it isn't in our circle of family companies. Yada, yada, yada. Basically, Autumn came out like good guy and basically said, bruh, he's a fuckazoid. All these other people are good people. If you want to hire him, let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you get in contact with him. Oh, and by the way, Skullgirls is safe because Mike Z doesn't have a single fucking hand on it anymore.
So pretty much Lab Zero is now done for.
Yeah, he's basically done. There won't be anything with his name on it going forward. In fact, I actually think they put out a patch recently where they actually patched out his name for the game. So,
damn.
Big oops. But yeah, no, Mike Z is a giant fucking douche canoe at this point, and is definitely in running contention for the PewDiePie award this year.
I mean, if he beats PewDiePie this year, that would be wonderful. Because we need some new blood in the douche canoe category. But
oh yeah, I know.
Well, PewDiePie hasn't done anything yet.
Bruh, go back to like February. He did.
Let's say there's a long list of people I think for this year so far.
Yeah, I believe I presented two of them earlier this year. Like literally, like in 2 weeks, we had like 2 contenders.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Gutex was definitely on that list. I didn't even know who the fuck he was, and
Pog.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't tell me.
Right now,
Yeah,
I think
I banned that emote.
I think the
Yep.
contender for winning the PewDiePie award this year is actually just the year 2020 in general.
It's in the category. We'll just say that.
Yeah, the 2020 award for being the most 2020 in 2020 goes to 2020.
2020. Fuck. 2020 is awardception. Who knew?
Yeah, 30. Yeah, 12/31, 11:59 flips over. 13/01, 2020. Fuck.
Yeah, that'd be the thing that happens. I'd be super upsetty.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure
honestly,
we're still in March.
Yeah, I am very glad that Skullgirls and Indivisible are owned by Autumn Games, and that they only leverage Lab Zero as a developer. And I
Yeah.
am glad that it honestly sounds like they're just basically kind of sort of saying, we're going to see what we can do to transplant the people who used to work for Lab Zero into a company not run by a giant piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that would be great, and I would be thrilled to death about that. Like, honestly, Autumn could just become both a developer and a publisher simultaneously, and just like have that be the way that it is, and move on with their day. I would be fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
I
be
was not
100%
really
on board with
aware of Mike Z as an entity such as he was prior to this point. But
Sure.
fuck that guy. He sounds like a douche.
that. I mean, even when he was a Taker player, he's still a douche.
A what?
Excuse me.
A what
Bruh.
player?
Iron Taker.
I don't.
BlazBlue.
Yeah, but
Ow.
he was a heavy grappler player. He was big into Zangief and big into Potemkin and Taker through most of the
He was a
early.
he was a
20
grappler player.
Yeah, Potemkin. I at least know who that is.
Yeah, we don't stand grapplers in this house.
I mean, I don't. If you want to play as a giant fucking block of meat character, that's your own business, and you're welcome to it. I don't. I don't understand you as a person, and like that's fine. But like we can't be friends, and you can't come to my birthday party.
Okay. You can like Armika, you just can't play Armika.
No,
That's
Armika,
the
you
thing.
can play Armika. Armika is
I mean, that's
not
fair.
that bad.
She's got boobs. That's
They-
why.
No,
No, because she doesn't have an SPD, duh.
no. I'm also fine with Alex. If you're an Alex player, that's also okay.
I mean, that's fair.
I hard object to Zamdeep and Potemkin though. That's my cutoff point.
Oh, and T-Hawk. Fuck T-Hawk.
Emily likes T-Hawk, so
I mean, that's fair. I just don't like the character. I don't know.
that's totally fine. I choose to remain non-decision oriented at this time as it relates.
I get
to
it. I get it. No, I get it. You're
But
perfectly
yeah.
fine.
So I don't know that I really have anything else to talk about as it relates to this whole.
No, we just know he's a shit heel and we just move on.
Yeah, Fishhook FPC wants to know your location. He doesn't play Potemkin.
He plays grapplers? Really?
No. I know in Street Fighter V he plays.
He plays all grapplers. Ah.
No, that's not true. I've seen what he plays. He in Street Fighter V he was really big with the guy who was supposed to be Bison's surrogate like substitute guy.
Oh, Ed.
Ed. Yes, he was a big Ed player for a while. I'll have to ask him to be sure. If he does play grapplers, I'm going to make fun of him for it.
I
But,
play Abigail and Birdie in Street Fighter V.
Birdie's not a grappler and Abigail's a piece of shit, so I guess there's a
Except Abigail's an amazing piece of shit.
I haven't played as Abigail, so I don't have any.
One tournament win and a bunch of degenerates does not mean that he's a good character.
He's a good character. It doesn't matter if it's just one tournament win. I was on board
Not since
when he
his
came
nerf.
out.
Not since his nerf.
Yeah, whatever.
His season 4 nerf is just dumped him. Nobody plays him.
Who cares? If you still win with nerfs, he's still an awesome character. Moving on.
I played Mortal Kombat one time.
Hey.
Hey!
Yeah, I don't recall for certain, but yeah, if he does play as grappler, if he does play exclusively as grapplers, I will make fun of him about that. Moving on.
That's good.
The third topic that, to talk about is not actually like a news thing this time around, but rather something that's ew,
Ew.
kind.
Did you just say
I
ew?
fucking I burped.
Oh,
Good.
thought maybe your cat might have thrown up or something near you.
No, no, she is polite enough to keep that reasonably far away from me. But yeah, so no, it's just burrito. But so one thing,
Excellent.
like we kind of okay, so he doesn't exclusively play grapplers.
Fair.
Okay,
But he does play grappler, so that's fine.
yeah, so I said I'm sorry. Anyway,
Good.
so we kind of had a couple of discussion topics that came up where individually they weren't really things that it seemed like they had a lot of robust meat on the bone, as it were. Like we were talking about summer games done quick, moved
Yeah.
to a digital format. The 2020 Game Awards are still happening, but they moved to a digital format. And we've sort of seen like the conversations, like in a lot of the other games that I played, like in Warframe, they've moved their stuff to a digital only format for introducing stuff, like TennoCon, which is a convention that has run around Warframe for some strange reason. Ran exclusively digitally. I don't know if BlizzCon happened this year or not, but I'm pretty sure
November.
that. What?
And it will
What?
be all digital. It's November, and it will be all digital. They've
All right.
already
Okay.
confirmed.
So that fulfills that. So it kind of sort of occurred to me while we were discussing these individual events, like why don't we talk a bit about how things have just gone to an all digital format? What do we think about that? What has the impact
right.
been? Like that sort of thing. And
No, that's
I
right.
guess
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interject, but no, the BlizzCon is actually canceled. They did state that they would be doing an all digital event in early 2021, which is why Opening Night Live had the actual reveal trailer date for Shadowlands, which is 10/27, because they weren't actually going to have the time to do the BlizzCon in early October like they had planned to give everybody additional details. So they did all of the initial stuff for on Opening Night Live for Gamescom. So that's what that was. I had that backwards. Like I
Okay.
knew they were doing it digital, but it's not until 2021, and it's going to be other things. And at this point, the only two things that they are most likely going to be talking about is going to be additional information on Diablo 4 and additional content and side stuff for existing games. But I don't believe that at this time, outside of that, they actually have any additional IP or new IP information for anything other than Diablo 4.
I see. Well, kind of the first thing I wanted to talk about here, I think, because like MPI, when we did the charity stream this year over on your channel, that also ended up going to an exclusively digital format. So I kind of wanted to talk about like how do we feel about the whole conversion to the digital format? Like, do we think that's viable? Do we think it's not viable? Do we find it good? Do we find it bad? Like, sort of where are our heads with this, just to start with? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like it. I don't think it's bad. Like it was really for a lot of these things. It's that, or we just didn't have it. You know what I mean? So it's a really good thing that we live in a time where we can do that when this is happening. I don't know that I want to see physical events go completely away, but it is pretty cool to be able to see a lot of those things digitally that maybe you wouldn't have gotten to before.
Yeah, I want to see that kid show up at BlizzCon again, protesting, esports over in China. Can't have that if they go all digital.
That's all you have if they go all digital. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't know if you heard recently, but the WWE had a problem. where somebody
Yeah.
rolled in during an episode of Raw and showed off a whole bunch of digital fucking KKK stuff. Oh boy!
Yeah.
You know,
So
I don't know who
Yes,
thought
we're
that
sorta-
was a good idea.
let's sort
I
of
mean-
have that conversation real quick. Basically the conversation here sort of is, all right, the WWE has been running their shows completely without fans because you can't have people in the building in this at this period of time. You can't fucking do that. So they're kind of sort of trying to figure out ways around it. Originally, what they were doing is they were having people sort of step in and like pretend to be fans, essentially.
Staff,
The-
pretty
like
much.
like staff, yeah, other wrestlers,
Like what
No,
AEW's been doing, pretty much.
right? And that's not a bad idea necessarily, but like there's only so much you can do with like 20 wrestlers surrounding the fucking group and being like, yay, woo, yay, like there's
Right.
only so much you're going to get out of that happening. So
Right.
they sort of like worked around it and were like, okay, so what do we do now in this case? And the answer that they seem to have come to is they have been putting up digital signboards around an arena where fans can be projected onto them from their home while they're watching.
Right.
So the unfortunate caveat there is that, some of the people that they are bringing on are less well known than other people that they are bringing in. And the end result of that essentially amounts to occasionally you are getting into the situation where somebody is being invited into this sort of trusted situation who really fucking shouldn't be. And they're putting up pictures of, Chris Benoit or
Ugh.
Kenny Omega.
or Kenny Omega or the KKK.
Yep.
Or a
And,
supposed
like, that-
guy getting killed by someone from ISIS.
Yeah, so needless to say, that's kind of going to be the case if you integrate audience participation and that sort of thing, probably forever. I don't think like, gaming like shows in general necessarily have to worry about that because you don't really need to have a live audience for these sorts of things.
Right.
But I do definitely think that there is sort of a conversation that needs to be had as it relates to, what kind of changes are happening there, because that's kind of going to be part and parcel with everything that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one more impact that we're seeing in the way that our media is being presented, more or less.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah, and like kind of like you said with gaming stuff specifically, you don't need that live audience.
Nope.
Most of the time, it takes away, if anything else. Dude, like think about E3 last year when there were two or three different keynotes where all we heard was someone in the crowd shrieking the entire time. It was
Oh god.
why does this exist? This is terrible.
Nobody
Like
asked
we
for
don't
this.
need some fucking ding dong to be like to shout "You're beautiful" at Keanu Reeves. Like
I
that
mean,
was
okay.
amusing, but we don't fucking need it. We don't.
But
need
I
it.
don't
We don't
need
need
to
it.
hear. And like that was fine. Like I wasn't annoyed by that one, but it was. I don't remember whose it was, but the whole time all I could hear was "Wah!"
Ah, yeah,
and
that
I was like,
the
"Shut the
Microsoft
fuck
one.
up! I
Yeah.
can't even hear what's happening."
The
So
fucking
I'm
Microsoft
fine
conference.
not having people at those things. There's no need for it.
No, I feel like the concept of the Direct, so Nintendo and Sony and hopefully Microsoft, they stated that they're going to start doing them, but we haven't seen anything yet. But like, if you're going to do it digitally. I will be 100% honest. Outside of maybe like the Nintendo Directs, which tend to be very concise and very crisp in terms of that kind of content, there's only one other company who I wholly believe hit it on the head so fucking hard that everyone was so on board with it that it just made sense. And like, I feel that like maybe the formula isn't the best for everybody, but the concept is fucking Devolver Digital. Their E3 Direct videos that they've had over the last couple of years have evolved into this ridiculous and unknown entity that has been just fucking phenomenal. And I really feel like they understand why they did it the way they did it and how the way they did it was right. They just got it. Last year's whole fucking Terminator shenaniganry and like building all of the stuff and how they presented the games through that skit they did with the Terminator thing was fucking genius. It was really well put together. Obviously, the thing afterward made zero fucking sense. I know you remember that, Mark. We're just sitting there watching him, whatever the fuck that game show thing was, and we're like, what the fuck are we watching? Like, the after stuff is always weird and doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's like watching somebody trying to do weird fucking Eric Andre shit, but on all kinds of other fucking drugs besides crack.
Yeah, I mean, like it's
But yeah,
it's very much a case where like everybody involved in all of this really loves Tim and Eric, and has decided like that's going to be, you know, their particular brand forever. And like it's fine. I don't care one way or the other. Like if you're gonna fucking do your own Tim and Eric show, like it's weird, and I don't necessarily think it's
please
something
do it on your own fucking time. That's what I'm getting at. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, please do it on your own fucking time. Don't do it on everyone else's time. There are other things that could be put into that slot after your direct is complete that would make a lot more sense. How even just a basic interview show would make a lot more sense in that time slot than whatever the fuck that was. But at the same time, it's like there's definitely an idea where it's like what they do with their digital directs, what Nintendo does with their digital directs, what Sony is finally starting to understand with their digital directs is it's about the games. It's about the content. It's about the reveals. It's about the pacing. Not a lot of other people know how to do that. And they're not used to doing it in a non-digital format because they're so used to hearing people. And I think that's the issue, is that more and more people are like, we kind of just like the digital stuff because we don't have to actually be on site. We can just throw our laptops open and do our own reveal stuff for it. And then we don't have to just like live tweet it. We can like live react to it because that shit gets views. So, you know, where we were 3 years ago is a far cry from where we are even now, where regardless of COVID, going all digital makes the most sense. And it's just sort of how things should be going. E3, Tokyo Game Show, Gamescom, PAX, I'm missing something. I think there's one other big one. I don't remember. Even CES, outside of like physical stuff, because let's be honest, it's still technically a trade show, and it makes sense because there's mostly physical product on that kind of a show floor. But the concept is like a lot of these big game shows, they don't need to be trade shows anymore. They haven't needed to be for at least a decade, but even more so now, they just don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, there's a certain thing that's lost from the physicality of it, but like you could kind of just, if you want journalists to see your stuff, you can kind of just distribute it to them digitally in a lot of cases. You don't need to rent physical space in a hall anymore and, you know, build a diorama of a dinosaur eating a road sign while a nuclear bomb goes off in the background. You don't need to build a 20-foot tall statue of Master Chief standing over like a dead alien or whatever the shit. You know, you don't need to levelly render Duke Nukem's balls.
Why not?
We can just kind of move beyond the physicality of that and just, you know, just fucking
Yeah.
invest that money in the digital showmanship.
Yeah.
If they want to make a stage, they can make a stage where, you know, a person or two people who are at least 6 feet apart from one another can interact with like a robot or whatever the shit that they're doing, and throw it to a game demo, and then the
Yeah.
individual journalists who are involved in this no longer need to stand in line for hours at a time in a physical space to play these games. Just
Give us
send
the
them demo
demos.
codes. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
just
put up
send
demos for
everybody-
everybody to play,
Like, we don't
or
even need
just
codes. That's what like Steam's been doing a thing with it recently. Just give Microsoft and Steam and EGS and Origin and whatever it is, just give everybody the ability to basically say this company is allowing for us to be able to play this game as a demo for the next 72 to whatever 120 hour blah blah blah, however long the event is going on for, as a demo. Download it, play it, learn more about the game. Plus, it'll give you additional links and information with a file that you'll download with the demo that'll give you additional website info.
On
Like,
top
how
of the
fucking
demo
hard is
talk,
that?
can we just go back to releasing demos for games in general? I mean, that used to be a big thing back in the 90s and early 2000s. Now they don't want to do demos. They just want people to buy the damn game or early access.
Early access. That's the buzzword right now is early access. That's
Fuck
what they
that. I don't
wanna
want to
do.
pay for
They
a
still
game
want
that's
money.
in alpha stage.
I mean, yeah, but that means we have to go back to the age of exclusivity where only X amount of people are going to be able to play it as long as they're part of the press, and no one else gets a chance to actually put any sort of input into the actual thing. Like, and no one wants to go back to that. Like, the thing that I think makes the most sense are, and I think what we should be doing instead, and I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but
You're crazy.
you guys know what. Yeah, probably. But you guys know what Game Jam is, right? People get
Yeah.
together and they make a game within a specific allotted amount of time.
Oh, I thought
When
you were
I
going to
think they
say it
should-
was a thing that Mark used to do as a writer.
Well, no, like it's an event. So it's an event that happens once a year, and everybody
Wait,
like
no,
a bunch
I
of these
do.
indie
That's game.
developers.
I'm sorry. Whoops. I flubbed.
It's fine. So Game Jam is basically this once a year kind of thing. How like the whole draw a specific picture one a day every day in October. Blah 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 blah. Is a game concept where everybody that's like an indie developer gets together and tries to make a new game in 24 hours with whatever kind of aspect they can get their hands on, whatever bits and pieces. But instead of doing something like that for just a single day, let's make an actual event out of it. Let's give everybody a week, and all of these guys can start posting out demos and be like, here's this new game that's in development. Here's the demo download. Play it for this full week, and then give us feedback on it. This allows the developers to actually have the ability to externally QA these games in a state that would still be considered early access, but A, nobody but the company has to worry about paying for it because it's being hosted, and B, everyone gets to put their input into it via locations that you normally wouldn't put it through and actually get more eyes, not only on the game, but more feedback on other social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, where, let's be honest, a lot of people fucking look. Having something like that, to me, making it more digitally available in a sense that makes it easier for not just QA testing, but also giving people the ability to demo a game that very well could make or break the game or change the way up games themselves are actually made in a much more positive way. Like, what do you guys think about like that? Just giving, like, instead of like a full-on E3 where it's just here's all the videos, blah blah blah, be like, here's the videos and here's the demos. Tell us what you think. The game's still in development. We'd love to get your feedback.
Well, they're
I mean,
kind of doing something
Microsoft
like that with the
literally just did
Summer
that.
of Games with Geoff Keighley. They're kind of doing
Right,
stuff like that.
but-
So
I'm
More
kinda
so instead of
interested-
just like once, but like do it at least every month.
I'm kind of interested in the demo aspect of it. Like, I think I kind of wonder if there isn't still something to the idea of cultivating a group of people who try your demo rather than offering it to everyone. if you have an
Fair.
incredibly tight demo, like PT as an example,
Uh-huh. Oh, sure.
it makes perfect sense to release that incredibly tight demo to everybody, and to have everybody like try that out and see what they think about it. But if your demo isn't incredibly tight, or if there's certain stuff about it that you're not 100% confident in,
Uh-huh.
you're probably going to want that demo to land in the hands of like professional writers who are going to be more inclined, even if they don't like it, to be nice about it, because
Right.
they're professional. I don't want, like Weed Killer 42069 playing this and fucking writing about it on a Medium blog, talking about what a piece of shit my demo is, because that doesn't help me as a
Right.
game manufacturer. Now, E3 and other trade shows are expensive for companies, but even beyond the whole press aspect of it, where like there's people talking about your stuff, those sorts of environments allow developers and publishers to cultivate a very specific sort of feeling in the people playing those demos.
Right.
It is very different for me as a person to play a demo on my PC or on my Xbone or on my PS4 or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and to just play that for 2 hours and write down my thoughts and move on with my day, than it is to go into the Bethesda booth where there's fucking decorations up for Fallout New Vegas, and to play a fucking demo surrounded by other people from the industry and like 10-foot tall suits of fucking power armor and all this other shit. There's a very different experience there, and even if you don't necessarily like a demo, you got a certain amount of hype just from being there, the physicality of it.
Right.
So I can kind of sort of see the publishers and the developers still wanting to keep a degree of control here, because like they kind of get like they're losing physical influence by not having stuff in an E3 booth. They're losing physical influence by not being able to cultivate the physical environment the way that they normally want to. They're going to want to have some degree of control over it, even if it's just, kind of sort of massaging the conversation with the journalist who's playing the demo of their game. So I definitely think that there's going to be there's going to be an argument at the very least to keep some of this stuff sort of under the control of the publishers, under the control of the developers, instead of just releasing the demo to everyone.
Right.
Like, I definitely think that there are going to be companies who are going to say, our demo's fucking rad as shit, we'll let everybody try it.
Yeah.
Freaking,
Yeah.
like, Ultra Kill comes out in a demo form and is rad as shit because, that fucking company knows what they're doing. Absolutely.
Right.
But especially with AAA games, they're gonna kind of want to massage that coverage a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. I still think they should just release demos on a regular basis for any kind of game, indie game, whatever. Just a nice hour of gameplay. I'll be satisfied.
I agree with that.
Oh
I
yeah,
agree with that.
absolutely.
Japan still definitely is a big fan of that stuff, but that's mostly with visual
yeah.
novels.
Well, that's true. Though, let's be real honest. Can we just go back to the day when we got demo discs for PS1 games with our pizza?
Right? That's exactly what I was just thinking of, the Pizza Hut ones.
Actually,
Or how
when you
about-
said
how
that, I
about-
thought about that too, because there was a tweet that somebody made a couple of hours ago, like before we started show, where somebody was talking about that. They're like, "Man, can we just have the days where we got jam-packed demo discs with our Pizza Hut pizza?" And Pizza Hut actually replied, like, "Those were the days."
What about possibly getting, modified Doom WAD files with like your cereal, like Chex Quest?
Bruh.
I do think that would be difficult, just because not everybody has an optical media drive anymore, unfortunately. And also, like, unless you're giving somebody like a Blu-ray, there's going to be like 2 demos on that fucking disc.
I mean, just give it like make it a
16 gig
Steam
flash
code or
drive.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that makes
That
the
makes
most
more
sense.
sense.
It's like we want you to play this X game. Here's a Steam code. It's on Steam.
Yeah, it's on the bottom of your receipt. Didn't even have to waste another piece of paper.
No,
Want to
Yeah,
get a
but-
free game?
Or it's printed
Turn
on the
in
box.
3 UPCs of favorite cereal.
But then fucking Chipotle did that with the Avengers shit, and everybody got fucking mad at them.
Well, they did it. So Chipotle did it with the Tony Hawk stuff. Of
Tony Hawk, yeah.
if you buy this one specific item, you might get a code.
Mm-hmm.
No, just put it on the bottom of every fucking receipt for a week or a month.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's not
or
as
until
bad.
supplies run out. Or until supplies run out. You get 10,000 codes, 100,000 codes, and then people go to Chipotle to get the code, and then 100,000 codes are gone, and they're like, "Sorry, we ran out of codes." Like that's logical. It makes
But make
sense.
it for just on every receipt, not just
Yeah,
like
exactly.
if you buy
One
like
out of every 50. Fuck
yeah,
me.
like let's say it's Pizza Hut and you have to buy super duper uber lovers meat pizza and I'm a vegetarian. Fuck you. Give me a code anyway.
Just put it on all stuffed crust. That's fine. That makes
Yeah,
the most sense.
that's
you
dumb.
know? I don't know. Demos are good, and I feel like we need them more regularly than what we do. Early access is good for what it is, and works as a baseline, but shouldn't have to always be something you pay to access unless it's obviously a AAA thing and they want you to just buy into it. Like, I'll be real honest, I'm looking forward to Baldur's Gate 3. And the fact that I can early access into Baldur's Gate 3 for a cheaper price and still get the full game once it actually launches by getting in on the early access start point for
What?
it.
Hold
Ooh,
up.
I'm
Hold
all
up.
for that.
Gotta look this up.
Yeah, September 30th is early access for Baldur's Gate 3. It'll have limited supply of starting things, and they will begin to slowly start adding in additional content, as well as classes, skills, feats, additional story content, and level caps. And then once we actually get to the actual launch date for it, the full game itself will simply just activate for people who purchased into the early access for it.
Oh, we're all over this, aren't we, Jan?
Oh, I already know I'm getting it. I've already got like 4 other people that we've already decided.
I mean,
we're like,
at this
"Yep,
point,
we're getting
Larian
it."
Studios to me just can't do any wrong.
I mean, it's still coming out on Stadia, so there's that. But
Look, if you want to make your $5 on the Stadia, that's your fucking.
I mean, right? I mean, so they did already state like the 2 things that I'm like, all right, whatever. You're just gonna do it because you already had the contract, and it's not like you guys are gonna break it. Which is the full game itself is actually going to release on Stadia a week before it actually releases on Steam. Whatever, it's a week. No one's gonna care, and it's still coming out on Stadia. But again, like nobody cares. It's still coming out on Steam. So like. Who cares?
Make your fucking
You know?
money. It's fine. Move on with your day.
Because the more money they make for this game, the better they're going to be able to continue to make content for it. And everything that we've seen so far, which albeit is not a ton, it looks fucking great. And it really feels like they're trying to do what they can to stick to the 5e rule set as best as possible while still having video game flexibility within the Baldur's Gate mythos, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But at the baseline, like everything they've showed for this game so far is I'm on board. I'm 110% on board. We're gonna play the fuck out of this game. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Like if you are a D&D fan, Larian can do no wrong at this point.
I mean,
Except
Original
he gets
Sin 1 and
better
2
internet.
was just proof of concept for me that I think they could have done
Oh yeah,
a Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights type of deal.
absolutely. I feel like at this point, Larian Studios knows exactly what they're doing. Except, maybe please just get Sven better internet. But whatever, right? It's a meme at this point. Every time he starts a stream, he's got these weird audio pops that happen where like it'll cut like a syllable out of every word that he speaks. It's dumb, but we all know it's his internet. There's nothing he can do about it. It's just funny.
And there is a news story trending about how multiple airline pilots saw some dude flying around with a jetpack. So I think we're
good.
gonna end it here.
Why? Because jetpacks are in the sky, ladies and gentlemen. All we have left are flying cars. Have a wonderful evening.
Don't worry, we got a flying car coming in 2022. I saw the model.
But yeah,
Should have been here last year.
you guys plug your stuff here. Jan, plug your stuff.
I'm Zella. You can follow me at twitch.tv/CeladonCH. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/CeladonCH. Everything is congruent. I love it. I have a YouTube channel that I'm starting to do content for, so I will have updated links for that eventually. I hope, maybe, we'll see. They're being butts about it. I stream Mondays through Thursdays, generally around 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I am virtual, as you can tell. I am also working on an updated model, so hopefully soon. I'm shooting for the end of the year, but we'll see. I don't know. Money is dumb.
I was wondering why I saw you using that program on Steam.
Which one?
Face Rig.
No, Face Rig is how she runs.
Face Rig is how I am now. Like,
oh, okay. It's the program you run to use this. I thought it was a program you used to make your models.
No, that's Live
Okay.
2D.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. So I am working on a model update. I've already put out a reference sheet or two on Twitter, so people kind of know what to expect soon. But there's still a few things that I'm working on to finish up, and then the commission process can begin. That being said, this week is pretty much just, collab heavy. I've got a collab starting in about 35 minutes. We're going to be playing Among Us, and then after that, we've got some visual novel readings. It's going to be done over at DJ Ridge's Twitch page. Friday, we are going to be doing a very massive VTuber Minecraft collab charity event for not Extra Life. It's Child's Play. Sorry. So we're looking to try to make $1,000, but hopefully we can smash that out of the park, which would be super cool. But pretty much all of the money that's going to be donated to the entirety of that stream, which will be hosted on the Hyperdrive Twitch channel, twitch.tv/HyperdriveV, will pretty much just be going to Child's Play for charity. So it'll be cool. We're doing like a Hunger Games sort of multi-group, battle royale, who can get to the end of the game first sort of thing. So it'll be fun. I'm awful at Minecraft, so I'll probably die first, but it'll be fun nonetheless. Plus it's for charity.
Yay, charity.
Charity.
Tis the season, my dudes.
Okay. MPI. Plug your shit.
Yeah, so you can find me everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, MPI Creates. So we are, like I said, getting back into Control tomorrow. I'm probably just going to pick up on stream and start from the beginning because I didn't get that far anyway, since I'm moving over to PC. With all the Xbox crashes that I had in it, like, it was to the point. It crashed 3 or 4 times per stream. Like, it was unplayable. It was ridiculous. And I only streamed it for 2 nights. So, other than that, yeah, you can find me there on Twitter. I hang out on Twitter a lot. So if you want to hang out and talk, meet me there.
Okay. As for Robert, plug your shit.
All right, so hey, you're currently on my channel. Please hit the follow button if you like the dumb shit we're doing here. I stream Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. A bi-weekly Virtual Fighter tournament, either on Xbox or on PS3, depending on the week. GVN Live here every other Tuesday, and various other games that I will be streaming. I'm thinking about probably streaming some Monster Hunter 4 right after this stream. The invitation is open to you, Mark, if you're interested to join me.
Warframe.
Fucking Warframe. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, actually. I tried, though. I do have a Twitch handle. I have right there, Fight Club Hubs, and I also have at the GVN, which is the official channel of this, although I probably should use that more often. I have a YouTube channel, Fight Club Hubs. I upload all content that I make on this here to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get back into making videos. I haven't made a video in like a few months, so try and get back into making my video game adaptation movie reviews and stuff like that. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Mark, plug your shit.
Yep, you can find me on everywhere is Mark B Writing, twitch.tv/Mark B Writing, twitter.com/Mark B Writing, etc. I try to stream on Fridays and Saturdays, sometimes more successfully than others. I also am the storyteller of a White Wolf / Vampire the Masquerade based tabletop game over at MPI Creates' channel. We run that every Monday, starting from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until generally around midnight Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, we do this every 2 weeks. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for this show. Hopefully, we will see you folks back here in 2 weeks, where Robert will be taking over his regular hosting duties.
I mean, let's be honest. Do you really want me to do that, people?
I
Have you
don't-
not really enjoyed what I have provided for you? These
I
three
don't
wonderful
want to
people
talk
right
about
here,
it,
these
though.
three beautiful motherfuckers right here, did a wonderful job hosting the last 3 shows. You sure you don't want more of that?
I don't want to do it.
I don't care what you want. I'm asking the audience. The very silent majority.
One of these days. One of these days.
Someday. I have dreams, damn it. I'm dreaming big.
What do you mean I'm an affiliate? I don't remember signing up to be an affiliate. I can have subs? The fuck is wrong with me? Anyway. I love you, Hubs.
Fuck this shit.
Fuck that shit, I'm out.
Anyway, Mark,
Anyway.
go ahead.
That's all I got. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Have a wonderful night.
Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.